This video has been sponsored by Affler and Retainful.
Hey folks, welcome back to the One Shopify podcast. I'm Sambit, and today we are diving into something every global brand thinks they're doing right, but usually isn't. We are talking localization, not just translating your store into French or Spanish, but selling like you're actually a local brand. And who better to unpack this with than Minh Nguyen, known by most as Mike, business director at FireGroup Technology, team behind Transcy, OneMobile.AI, and OneLoyalty. Hi, Mike.
Hi, Sabir.
Good to have you here, Mike, today.
Yeah, I'm very good to join the podcast today, so we can share my experience as well in many years in localization, so I can help the merchants sell global like local.
Yeah. For viewers, Mike helped thousands of Shopify merchants speak their customers' language literally and culturally. And today, he's here to help you do the same. So let's begin. Mike, welcome to the show. Let's start with the obvious. Most Shopify stores add a transition app and think that's enough. What's the problem with that mindset?
Yeah, most of the people they think that translation and localization is the same, but actually this is two different, very different meaning. Translation is the meaning about converting text from one to another. For example, from English to French. For example, hello to bonjour in French. However, localization is not just simple, it's a translation, a convert text from one language to another language, but it also adapting the entire experience to the target market language and cultures and expectation and also behavior. This is totally different. And so why translation is a focus in literal word-to-word replacement of content, for example, English to French, and the goal of the translation is make the text is understandable in another language. Why translation is not localization is a focus in adapting language and remember, and not only adapting language, but it also must adapting the tone and phrasing, currency and pricing, payment methods, shipping expectation, imagery, colors, and even humor. And even in EMA market, you have to comply with the legal and tax info. For example, VAT, GST. Okay, so the localization is the goal of localization is make your e-commerce store feel like a native, local to the customer.
That's a great point you pointed out, Mike. So, when you say localize to sell like a local, what kind of elements do brand need to rethink?
In my understanding, and also in my experience for working in 15 years in e-commerce level, so there are 9 elements the brand might consider why localization. The first one is payment method. There's no everything is become nothing if you cannot the customer cannot pay for you, right? Okay, so the brand should offer the local payment method option. For example, you have to offer PayPay in Japan, or Momo in Vietnam, or PromptPay in Thailand. Okay, and the second, and also in the payment methods, you also offer the local currencies. You should show the price in local currency. You cannot show USD while you are selling in the EMA market, right? And there are some market tax is required, some region like Europe. So you have to providing the information, the pricing that is not include or not include VAT by default. Okay, this is the first very important thing. The second, after you are ready for the payment method, then they have the second thing that is a language and tone. Native level translation is a must. Avoid automate translation. use local idioms, expression, and cultural appropriation. And also you have to have a visual layout. For example, you have to adjust your website from right to left script for the Arabic and Hebrew language or different character sets like Korean, Japanese, and Chinese, right? The third one is a cultural preference, visual and aesthetic. Color, photos, and symbols can carry different meanings. For example, you can see the red is lucky in China, but it can signal the danger elsewhere, right? And also the culture is related to the shopping behavior. Some reason maybe rely heavily on reviews and social proof, and while other may prefer the detailed spec. Yeah. And four is the pricing strategy. Psychology pricing is working different in different area. For example, what works in US, 19.99 US dollar may not work in Japan and
Yeah.
Germany. And also the discount and bundle. In Southeast Asia market, bundle pricing and flash sales like on Lazada or Shopee are expected. But in Germany, they prefer 20% discount for all items. Is easier to understand. Okay, and very important after sale is a logistic and delivery expectation. So you need to provide the information about speed and cost. For example, in Korea and Singapore, 1 or 2 day delivery is expected. In other, cash on delivery, they mean a COD, is preferred. So, and the local returns policy must be very clear, aligned with the local normal, liberal in Germany, stricter in other countries. Example, and okay, after sale. So that what if the customer want to connect with the merchants? For example, so we are talking about the customer support. Language specific support is very important while you sell like a local. If you're selling in Japan but customer support cannot speak Japanese, is worth noting, right? So you need to offer support in local language and local time zone. Okay, you cannot provide the customer support in a time zone of US, but you are selling in Japan. So there's nobody connect. There's no customer connect with the customer support at midnight, right? And the channel, there is some countries that consumer prefers WhatsApp or Zalo in Vietnam or Line in Thailand and Japan. And the seventh is legal and regulatory compliance, especially in Europe. Tax regulation and data protection laws. You must provide information. And eight, trust and credibility. Local trust badge. Try to use the payment trust seal, security logos, or e-commerce certification for specific countries, and especially local testimonial and influencer. It's very difficult for you when you try to sell in Australia, but you bring a guy from Europe and say about the product, about the review of product, use Australia. Okay, and the last but the very important, last but not least, is the marketing channel. Okay, so you need to use the local platform to marketing in the local market, like Kakao in Korean and Line in Thailand and Japan, or TikTok Shop in Vietnam, or Shopee promotion in Southeast Asia. In European, you need to prioritize Google Shopping, Instagram, and marketplace like Zalando. Okay, and this is the 9 elements that very important in brand for brand to considering why localization.
Cool, Mike. Love that. So it's more of a mindset than a tool, right, Mike?
Sure, exactly. Localization start with empathy and think like local.
Yeah. So, Mike, let's talk about Tracy. You've helped thousands of merchants go global. What are some of the key wins you've seen when brands truly localize?
Yeah, we have a very famous, popular case study that we call Hideout Clothing. Sebastian is a CEO and the founder of Hideout Clothing, and he established in US. And then he tried to use Transcy to targeting to the French market, France. So, and after he trying to sell global to French market, and his source very successful. So he tried to set up a flagship store in Paris, and of course, there's many things that he shared in the video that in Shopify App Store and also in my websites. So I can share you after the podcast.
Sure, sure, Mike. So, Mike, brands just starting out, where should they begin?
Okay. For the brand that's just starting out, they should understanding or even they use some tool like a Transcy that provide their statistic about the market that is highest traffic for their that align with the target audience or the target customer, and then try to localize language and currency first to test and think and try to um, integrate with the payment method course, and maybe think about the mobile experience because mobile experience will create the loyalty and also the brand is very easily.
Okay. So, Mike, what is one common thing that you see that brands do when they, a mistake brands do when they were going international?
Yeah, many years ago, I saw a lot of big brand, even big brand. They I they try to uh, translate many content of, and even product details using Google Translate. And of course, there's a very important that Google Translate is not context translation. So there's a lot of thing that they will translate is very stupid, and it also ignoring counter signal. So overlooking a mobile optimization in certain region. For example, you know that the the shirt that we call top tank. Yeah, Google Translate will translate it word by word. So word by word, this means the top of the tank. Tank is a like a weapon. Okay, so it will translate like, for example, it translates into Vietnamese like a xe tăng ở trên. That means a weapon in a boat. It's not related to cold.
Yeah.
This is how you translate work. Yeah, and this is the big mistake.
So, Mike, moving ahead, you also work on OneMobile.AI, a mobile app builder. Can you tell us why localization becomes even more critical on mobile?
Yeah, right now the e-commerce is not only the internet and also in the website in the laptop, but in the customer pocket. Okay, everybody, especially in India and also most of the people in the world, they have a mobile smartphone. So in the market like Vietnam, Indonesia, and India, over 90% of e-commerce traffic is made on mobile. So speed, UX, and local language matter than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mike, are there any specific design changes for mobile you've seen boost sales in localized markets?
yeah, of course. When you have a mobile app, um, so you have your store in your customer pocket, in your
Yeah.
hand,
Yeah.
not in a desktop computer. So the a lot of design changes for the mobile will push sell. For example, the CTA, the local push notification, and also you know that they you with the push notification will help you to communicate directly with customer in real time. Before that, you can exchange with the communicate with your customer via email, via chat. But why when they open the email, when they are online, okay? But with the mobile app, you can communicate directly with the customer real time and efficiently, and even they can detect the location when they active, the behavior, very important, and the real the busier time zone, busier time of the customer, and when they are willing to pay. So it's very easy, and this would sell a lot.
Does OneMobile.AI automatically sync with localization tools like Transcy?
Yes, that's building unified experience across the web app and web and app too.
Okay. That's beautiful, Mike. Unified across experience across the web and app. It helps the consumer a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, Mike, now let's switch gears to retention. How loyalty plays into localization.
yeah. There is a thing that the different cultures and they are different reward system. So localization is not only translation the loyalty program, but you have to think about the mechanism to make them loyalty. For example, in Asia customer, the value like gifting referral cultures. So, and in Latin American countries, they prefer cashback, but European favor economy friendly or exclusive access. So you can see that localization that mean a different reward system.
Yeah. And that's so overlooked, Mike. Like brands just copy paste the loyalty model globally and wonder why it doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. For example, we have loyalty program that we that help you localize. It's just not the language, but psychology of the loyalty. In loyalty, we are just not providing a set of loyalty tools that for the merchant and let them do everything alone. We accompany with a merchant and analyze the data so we can analyze and draw the customer portrait or we call personas. So and we with the persona and also the portrait, we can predict, we can know exactly the behavior of the customer, the buying customer, what they like, what they what they prefer, and we can categorize the motivator. We can know exactly what motivator of the customer, and then we can suggest the we can tailor the action plan or the loyalty strategy for the merchant to acquire the loyalty of the customer. It's very important.
Like someone listening is just hitting their first like $500, 500K US dollars to 1 million US dollars and want to expand. So what's the first step they should take?
I think that the first, as in my understand, and also I from my one of my mentor is very famous entrepreneur. There are they he said to me that there are two things in the world that people can understanding together. One is the music, and the second is the number. Okay, so if you cannot compose the music, just let working with the number, talking about the number. Okay, so everything should be the first step should take that is a start with analytics. So we must understanding where the traffic is coming from, who buy you most. Okay, the bounce rate per region. Then prioritize localizations there. We focus the effort for the most market. Yeah, I think that's a good start.
Yeah, okay, okay. So, Mike, are there Shopify Plus features you recommend for global brands?
Yeah. Be sure the localized content, just not only translated content. And the important thing is with the AI power now, localization is now easier and effortless. So make your customer feel trusted, customer respected. You know that who won't proud of their mother language, right? Make them love you, love your brand, because you love their mother tongue. You the first thing, okay? And yeah, so you can see that. And the second is the international domain with, for example, with a subdomain for each country and geolocation-based redirect. Detect one customer in area in a region is very simple right now. Even they don't provide a location permission, and it's very easier now if you are using mobile app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Mike, what are some red flags a brand which shows that a brand isn't yet ready to localize?
Yeah, as I told in the previous section, that we can say that no payment method is the first red flag. You can burn a lot of marketing costs, acquire a lot of uh, customer viewing your product, but at the checkout, there's no payment method, appropriate method, then they won't pay for you and the bounce. And second is no fulfillment partner in region. Very important. Okay. And also no customer support system for that time zone. And of course, translation is not only the product, but also the Q&A, hub, policy, everything. This is the red flag. And many brand, I can see many brand that try to approach a market very fast, and they forget a lot of things, especially payment method, fulfillment, and no customer support. And then customer they feel very untrusted, and they won't
Yeah.
buy again.
Yeah, Mike, these are some of the very important points you pointed out that if there is no local customer support, then customer won't trust you.
Yeah, one trust. Yeah.
Now, Mike, let's get into an exciting lightning round. So we'll put three questions very fastly. And so let's wrap with the lightning round, Mike. So first question is most overlooked country for Shopify expansion.
Um, okay. After analysis, we monitoring the data from time to time for many years ago. I can see that Indonesia is one of the most overlooked and yet high potential market for Shopify expansion, especially for the direct to customer brand for looking to for early mover advantage in Southeast Asia. And so with the 300 million population. So it's the very strongest market. So why is stronger opportunities is a very massive population, and Indonesia is the largest country in terms of population in Southeast Asia, and over 65% of the population are under 35. So mobile first, social media savvy consumer. And also you can see that many unicorn e-commerce and also the tech company also from the Indonesia. So explosive e-commerce role. And as I remember the latest report by Google and Temasek is they expected around 66 million e-commerce in this year 2025, and right now it's dominated by the marketplace. So direct to customer is emerging because you know that like a Tokopedia, Shopee, Lazada, they increase the high fee, and the brand they are now recognize that their customer is not their customer. Their customer is the marketplace customer. So they are moving and they are building their brand to own the customer. So particular in fashion, beauty, health, and lifestyle products. Yeah, this is my understanding.
And Mike, one Shopify app beside yours, you love for international scaling.
Yeah. Um, when a merchant want to go global, the app beside the payment methods and also customer shopping, customer service, and also translation and regular is very easy. But thing that are related to the fulfillment is very important. So the app that I recommend for the merchants that working and expecting in global expansion is the Actasip or Track 123. So these apps provide the centralization tracking page that will for multiple carriers, allowing customers to track their shipment from start to finish, and this will help to redeem the volume of the where's my order ticket. Yeah, and around I think that around 40%, and free up your support team to handle the urgent issues. So the ability to proactively provide tracking updates and create a better post-purchase experience, keep your customer also loyalty, happy, and reducing on the strain of your team.
That's a great suggestion, Mike. Hope our listeners today make use of that app.
Yeah,
And Mike, the next question is translation or localization? One word that wins conversions.
localization always.
So, Mike, thank you so much. This was the most practical and eye opening episode for any brand ready to go global. If you're a Shopify store owner eyeing growth outside your home market, rewind this episode and take notes. And to our listeners, we'll link to Transcy, OneMobile.AI, and OneLoyalty in the show notes. Go explore how localization can transform your store's global journey. I'm Sambit, and this is One Shopify Podcast. See you in the next one. Thank you so much, Mike. It was really having you pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, Sambit. Happy selling, everyone.